You only get what your mind is conditioned for. And I'll put it in the first person. I can only get that which...
Welcome back to the next level of fact.
The following program. The following program is presented by Large Ray's Slow Roast Coffee Sticker Company. Large Ray's Slow Roast Coffee. It's like when you're roasting a guy, but you do it real slow.
Oh hey, welcome back to the next level of fact or freestyle.
Doing stuff in all right, so first one here, and yo, Gary Pollock. Hey, Gary.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Uh-oh.
I see you got your Ford
I
tank.
gotta fix my audio.
That's all right. Listen, if I built one of them, my daughter would never leave it right now. We used to build them all the time, but like if I do it right now, this wouldn't be happening right now with me. She would take it over.
Say all that again. I just got audio back.
If I were to do that right now, my daughter would take it over and should never leave it. We used to build them all the time.
To take it over?
Yeah, she would take it over. I'd build it and she's like, no, you got to leave.
Dude, look at this. I have an art place out in the
Look at that
hedge.
Yeah.
But look, I've also got electricity.
Look at you, power. Look.
Yeah. Here it comes. Oh, wait a second.
There's light.
I just moved in. I got a little desk and everything.
We used to do the ones with the box fan. You know, you tie a sheet to a box fan, and
Oh,
then
right on.
you do it that way. So yeah, if I would do that right now, she would be like, "Dad, you need to leave. This is mine." That's what she
This
would
is
do.
fantastic.
Somebody's
All right,
driving.
The whole, all right, so here's the game. We're trying to get good footage for Eddie Fiola so that he can run during the ending credits. But the only way that we can get to those ending credits is if we have a funnier premise than Ed Helms, or if we have more heartfelt stories of when Eddie made you feel like $1,000,000. And so I know that you took Eddie's place on the Danup tour, but there had to have been some moment when Eddie was like super awesome to you when you were on the come up or something like that. So tell that story.
I was a big when I would go to California a lot, very luckily, Martin Aparicio would take me down to the block. So I got to hang out with Eddie Fiola, Martin Aparicio, and Todd Anderson. So anytime I ever was down there with him, I was always welcome. Like the East Coast guy, the little blonde head kid, you know, up and coming. He was always great to me. So there's no complaints about Eddie Fiola. Very, very nice gentleman to me. Every single time I've ever met him. Even when we were in Tulsa, Oklahoma a year ago. Great guy.
Yeah, totally. Let's see who else is here. Holy smokes. Hey, it's a bunch of dudes. It's Anthony and Greg Sutherland.
What's up? How's it going?
Dude,
do I have audio?
Yeah, you have audio.
Okay. Oh, am I supposed to be in my fort?
Yeah, you should be in your fort. You need to be in your couch.
Okay, hold on. Let me get in my fort, okay?
But give us a tour of your fort, please. Do like a
hold on. Do I
give
need
us
to set the mood with music?
If there was anybody that was going to build a couch fort, it would have been Sutherland or whatever.
Here I am, fellas.
Greg's last name is.
Joe, I really wish I
got
could
this
have built
under
one.
control here. All
Joe,
right, so
if
here it is,
Joe,
right
if we
here.
did this Monday through Friday, I could do it. Not today.
All right,
we're gonna shoot it again.
All right, here we go. Here's my fort.
All right.
Is that a beer?
It's a lantern.
It's a lantern.
Got my lantern here. We can go in.
Oh,
whoa.
Yo, check that out.
I got my Eddie Fiola shrine.
Oh.
Tell us all about the shrine.
Real quick.
Can y'all see, or do I need more light?
No, it looks perfect.
Real quick, I just want to make a note here that I'm sure that he doesn't live with any other adults. It's just him. Because
no, I have nobody that lives here.
That's what. See, I told you. I knew it. If I was doing this, my wife would have the ambulance pull up with the straitjacket guy.
All right,
that's exactly what we wanted.
I got the dino shoes, so I can be cool like Fiola.
No way.
Then I got the GT jersey.
Yo, it's in a bag.
Yeah, I'm too fat for it. Then I got the other GT. I got the other GT vans that say factory team on them.
Whoa,
no way.
There you go.
Yeah, and then I got reading material down here in the fort. You know, you got to have the When I Was King book.
Is he gonna produce a urinal so he doesn't have to get up to pee? He can just pee himself.
Exactly. Then I got the you guys have this, I'm pretty sure. Got the Concrete and Smog.
Yeah. Oh, that's the box set.
Yeah. I got that. Because you know, if you worship Eddie, you gotta have all of Eddie's stuff.
Yep.
And you know, I think, to be honest with you guys, he's still the king because there's no more king of skate parks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I told him that he should change the name to When I Became King.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I got some stickers here.
That's awesome. All
right. Let me shut this box up and I'll get back with you guys.
All right.
All right, perfect. I'm back.
It's
Now you
so
can
I
tell
keep
us-
waiting for him
oh,
to
look
say,
at my
"Welcome to the
shoes.
Drew Carey Show."
There you
Like,
go.
I keep
Yeah,
waiting
see
for
my
it.
shoes?
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a pretty good
Whoa.
collection.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like
you
an
can
Asian
tell that-
bathhouse.
You can tell there's
Whoa.
no female living here.
All right, Tony, show us your couch sport, please.
All right, I put this together in the last 20 or 30 minutes. I'm using two bikes. I got a 87 Performer that we can
Whoa.
use for, I don't have any Eddie stories, so I'll just bring out an old GT. Ray, this one is ready to ride. No
Oh,
loose
see that? Look
seat
at that.
post or stem.
Good job.
So,
Just
And then on
walking
the-
around that bike show, testing those bikes, you could see
Make
the
sure the
soul.
brakes work.
Like you could see the soul leaving some of those dudes. Sorry, Tony, go back.
no worries.
Back-
And then
back
the
to
other
Tony.
one, which I got the light blocking it, but I got another light here. I got to
Oh,
set up
you've
the
got
lighting.
electricity? You've got
No, I
electricity
just
in there?
little battery powered lights. But this is a Chrome 96 Detour, not Detour, Slammer Dyno Slammer that I just put together.
Oh.
This will be my new ride for 2024. So
Does it have a bash guard?
this one does not. I do have a friend that has a bash card if I want to get one. But so yeah, I got the 96 Dyno Slammer and then the 87 Performer. I don't know how well
Sweet.
this camera works in here, and then a couple blankets. This is one, that purple one that Bree knitted.
Oh wow.
So, and she's away, which is why I'm able to do this.
There you go. See that?
She's in Arizona, so
She's
on a
really
business
far
trip.
away.
Yep. And then I gotta light my incense. I got an incense down here
Oh, there you
Yeah.
for
go.
Joe.
Joe
I don't know
loves
where my
that.
lighter went.
I
I was
love
at the
that stuff.
TerraDome for a minute there.
Dude.
On some
I think
custom
we
dirt.
are all in the TerraDome right now.
Hopefully
Joe, are you
hopefully the
an
flame
oiler?
doesn't get too high.
Huh?
Are you an oiler?
An
Do
oiler?
you do oils?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh,
just
I
checking.
know what you're saying. No, I have Tibetan incense. They're kind of hard to
Oh.
source.
Okay.
So this one time, where did I get them? Yeah. So you know the monks that toured with the Beastie Boys
Oh,
on
not this story.
Lollapalooza?
Not this story again.
So I don't.
And that's
Maybe
coming
they
from
were
me who
like.
repeats every story.
Maybe they were like the B team monks. I don't know. But they came to Columbus. They was like part of this. I think they called it the Universal Light Expo. And it's just like hippies and UFOs and crystals. Ray, you would love it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so they had the monks doing the sand mandala, and they were just very quietly making that thing all like for the 5 days. Anyway, I got some incense from them because they're like fundraisers for the monastery, and it was a tube, and the caps were like hard like artisan paper, and they were embroidered, like they were wrapped in the most beautiful silk stuff. Anyway, those are dope, and I found them online from the temple, and those were the incense that I burned at GuruJam, which Tony was part of.
I was not part of that. I wish I was.
What? You weren't?
No, there was a couple of years where I wasn't going to any competitions outside of my very local area. So 2027 in your backyard on Memorial Day, I'll be there.
Yeah, we're Danny Meng was at GuruJam 2013, if you can believe it.
So after you burned
Right.
the incense, did you place well? Do well? No touch?
I
No
did.
sneaky touches?
No sneaky touches. I rode really well because very confidently, because it was my own spot, and so there was a lot of that, and people were really stoked. And so it's not like, because when you go out and you ride, and like there's some dudes who are just like throwing daggers at you. They got like the voodoo doll. They're just like stabbing you. That really happens. Or they'll do like the head games like just before like they'll snake you during practice or whatever. So like my head was really clear and I did pretty well. But it's actually you're not you're kind of not allowed to enter your own contest. But the AM flat circuit needed a final round because Texas Toast got canceled mid-year, and so in April I was like, oh, I got to do a contest, and then we just busted our butts to make a contest, and I was like, I really needed the gods, and so I needed the TerraDome gods, and that's why we had crystals and rituals and incense all over, was just to make people get the vibe that they were going to a temple or to a monastery. And so we pulled it off. We the medic went home just before Todd Gully's run, and we were like, that is the worst time for the medic to go home, because Todd Gully would do these perverted decades, and sometimes he would just pancake.
He gets real sketchy in the contest runs. He gets real nervous.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. So that was GuruJam. But like we used this chain, we made podiums, like round podiums, and we hung first, second, and third on gold chains, just like they're on silver chains, just like this. All right, so Ray, tell us another heartwarming Eddie Fiola story so that he can use it in the ending credits of his biopic, like Cannonball Run.
I don't think I have. I don't really have anyone. I mean, I have a heartwarming one that really made me feel very happy, but it's not an exciting story. We were in Texas, and it was the one where we were like 16, maybe 17, and we went there. We didn't have any money, and it was on a Saturday, and it was Saturday. We still had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday till we got home, and we had zero money. And Magoo handed Eddie a white bag of cheeseburgers, and Eddie like opened one up and like took a bite out of one and was like, "These things are gross," wrapped it back up. And I was like a wounded hyena waiting to see if the lion was done with his food. Like maybe he's gonna leave the carcass. And I sat right behind him going, dude, as soon as he gets up, I'm grabbing whatever in that bag. And I didn't know like if there's anything in the bag other than the burger that he put back in that he took a bite out of. So everybody like had left to go like wherever to do, like, you know, there was another run coming up or whatever. And I was just eyeing up that bag. Eddie got up and left, and it seemed like he was there for an hour, but it's probably like 3 minutes. As soon as he got up, I grabbed the bag. There were 2 cheeseburgers, the other cheeseburger that he had taken a bite out of, and a bunch of French fries. And I was so hungry, I ate the 2 cheeseburgers and French fries, and that the bit hamburger was still in there. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know. Ugh. And I kind of ate around where Eddie had bit, because I don't, you know. I was like, who knows what Eddie could have? He's been on tour for a while. And so that's my heartwarming Eddie story, that he wasn't interested in his lunch that Magoo got him, and it saved me. I was and I could have shared it with my friends who were also broke, but I was very stingy back then. I'm especially stingy if I'm starving to death. So right. But that's pretty much it. That was my heartwarming
That's a good story.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I like it.
Magoo probably complained about buying that food for Eddie and Eddie not eating it. He probably definitely complained about it.
Yeah.
Went out of his way and just like, really?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I remember seeing the like transaction of them, like Magoo giving it to him, and then like the whole biting of it, and then like Magoo was just like, yeah, walked away and went on to the next thing because he was very busy at those events. But
wait a second. So Magoo saw him take the first bite.
Yeah, and wrap it back up and put it in the bag.
Oh, he saw him wrap it back up.
Yeah. There was a bunch of us sitting there. Like Magoo had gone out with like who it was like Josh White and Volker and maybe Gary. I don't know who. I forget who else was there. And then, it was probably now I think about it, it was probably the last time Eddie ever was on GT. You know what I mean? Like that was like, it was like 80s. It might have been his last contest, I guess.
Eddie took a bite and dismissed the food that Magoo got him, and he kicked him off of GT. Is that
He
what
didn't
you're
get
saying?
kicked. No, Magoo didn't kick him off.
Okay. Sorry.
The sport kicked him
Eddie,
off because
Eddie,
it got to.
It had nothing to do with.
No, it
Eddie
had nothing to
getting
do with
kicked off.
any interaction of people. It was people like Matt Hoffman and people that were just doing stuff that was 1,000 times harder than whatever any pro was doing.
Oh, right.
You know. But how are you liking the cape and chain? It's a great combination, isn't it? It's really good. The cape was a great idea, and I have to say I came up with the idea.
Yeah.
What's on the cape? Is there anything on the cape?
There's my boy. What's up, Ray?
I'm here, man. What's going on?
Right.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Do that thing with your phone because you are at 90 degrees orientation.
There you
There
go.
he goes.
Hey,
There
can I
you
just real quick that I listened to the Gary Pollock podcast the other day, and it was really good.
Oh, thank you. It was my
Yeah.
first one. A little nervous. I actually forgot some facts, but
That
next
always
time.
happens.
Well, I can't believe you sold these guys out and didn't do their show.
Whose show?
Gary's been
Fact
on here a
or-
billion times. Gary's been on here a bunch.
You know, my
And now he
favorite
owns
part.
it, so
My favorite part is when Gary goes, "Yeah, it was my first podcast. I was really nervous." He's like, "You guys are just nitwits, and you sold me your nitwit circus."
Are they
He
gonna
was a
go-
real podcast.
I love it.
Actually, that one was a lot different because you don't see anybody. You're just talking like you're talking on the
Yeah.
phone, right? So
Yeah.
it's definitely different.
Who was that? That was banter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
What was your favorite part, Greg?
I just like the stories when you're talking about, the hoods and how you got on GT and CW and stuff.
Awesome.
All Magoo.
Hey, let's welcome the future. Delco Media is the future. Our homie Ray. Ray, you were driving for 8 hours today. You pulled over, got a hotel room, and built a couch for it in it. Is that correct?
I'm waiting for it to fall on top of my head, but yes, I did.
Look at that. It looks like he's in jail, like with all the white stuff and the
Oh,
towel.
looks like all the
Here I had to
pillows,
use
right.
chairs and an ironing board and whatever I could find, pillows, blankets.
The ironing board.
Ironing board.
There's an ironing board across the top. Give
Who
it
used
support.
one of those last time? When was the last time somebody used an ironing board?
Right?
I've never even seen an ironing board.
Wait a second. You mean in the construction of a couch for it, or just for use in ironing your clothes?
Well, yes, ironing. Well, I mean, we have one. My wife uses one now, but I was talking about a list of stuff that I didn't have before I met Amy, and it's pretty funny. One is an ironing board. One was a salt shaker and a microwave and some other stuff.
You swore off microwaves until you were married.
No, I just didn't have one. I didn't have, like, I lived by myself. I didn't need one. I didn't, like, one day it broke and we never got another one, I guess. I don't know.
So before I got married, anytime I cooked anything in a crock pot, I would just throw the whole crock pot out instead of cleaning it. Because they were like $9 at the store. So I would just buy like queso, rotel, make the dip for the party, then just toss the whole thing.
Well, now they have crock pot liners. It's a game changer.
Yeah,
if you work with a crock pot.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my friends once had a whole bunch of dirty dishes in his apartment, and they were sitting there for like 6 days, 7 days. And I'm like, dude, when are you going to do these dishes? And then he was at like Kmart or something, and there was a whole set of dishes for like on sale for like $5. So he just bought them, and then he just went home and pulled all the dishes out of the sink and threw them out, so he didn't have to clean them.
I did the same thing
Only
with
a
laundry.
man would do that.
With laundry, I just bought new underwear and T-shirts and threw the old ones away.
Done.
My mom used to make like wash rags out of my dad's old tidy whities, and one day we were washing. See, it's the craziest shit. And one day we were washing the car, and I had the neighbor kids out, and we were all washing the car. My dad comes home, and the neighbor kids are washing cars in his tiny whities, and he comes in and where is my mom?
Can someone translate what Joe just said? I missed it.
He had a word with my mom. He's like,
okay.
Why are you using my old underwear as
little
cleaning
boys
rags?
with your dad's wet underwear? That's not good.
All right.
Today that's 17 years in jail.
All right. So Delco Media, the future. Sorry, please continue with telling us about the time that Eddie Fiola made you feel like $1 million.
Every time, man. Every time watching the videos. I never met him personally, but I'm hoping to do that at HP Tuesdays. That's the goal.
You've never met Eddie in person? Oh,
he's driving out. He's driving out to meet Eddie in person. He's on the road right now.
Dude, that's crazy. Ray, you're living the life, man. You're on a pilgrimage, dude. Holy
You're heading to Buena Park?
Yeah.
You're heading to Buena Park, California, where they live?
No, Huntington Beach.
For One Love Jam.
Oh,
okay.
That's right.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Hey, Ray, I got a pro tip for you. You're gonna love this.
Which Ray are you talking about now? There's two Rays now.
Sorry, the future. So the future.
Okay, let's just call him the future.
Okay,
the future would be much. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So the future. Look, get a movie, okay, when you're out there with you, Eddie, and Martin, okay, and then drive a ton of traffic to it on YouTube. Now, here's the trick. Go to the Wikipedia or the IMDb for the movie Quicksilver and look at its box office take and adjust that for inflation. Then take the average sales price of a movie ticket today, again, adjust for inflation, and then divide that, the Quicksilver movie gross, by the average price of a ticket at that point in time. That will tell you the number of people who saw Quicksilver in the movie theater. Get more people on YouTube to watch your video of you riding with Eddie and Martin, okay? When you exceed the number of views, then you have a credible defense that says you are 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
It's a lot of math.
And I know this because I am 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon because I did that math because of the Tim Knoll video I was in that got like 5, 6, 7 million views. And Tim Knoll wrote me a check when he got paid from YouTube for it. But I care more about being $7.
How much?
$7?
Yeah,
that's a burrito, man.
It's $7, and I cashed it on through the mobile app, but I have it in my sacred relics, which I'm certain I'm gonna store in large rates, slow roast coffee cans.
Yeah.
But 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon, and that's legit. So Delco Media.
Okay.
Like, once you get that close to Kevin Bacon, that changes everything. Like, you can put that in your CV.
Okay.
All right. So the future, tell us more about what's been up. You're going out to this trek to see Eddie Fiola.
Yes. So it's been a lot of driving. I can tell you that. It's fun. I wish I had somebody else with me. It's a lot of driving by myself, but I'm getting closer, so I'm getting excited. Looking forward to One Love Jam and HP Tuesdays for a while.
What state are you in right now?
I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, you're not far.
Getting
No.
close.
Call Carl Roth. I think that's where Carl Roth lives.
Aren't you by JFB right now? I just saw you posted a video with his cribs or whatever.
Yeah, I actually recorded that last year in Colorado Springs.
Oh shit. Never mind.
Yeah, JFB lives in a van, and so his cribs is very much like what we're seeing right here. But JFB does not have he doesn't have a sunroom like whatever this is. What is this? Stargazing room, I guess.
We're pretty comfortable in there, Joe.
I'm going to work from this couch for a year. This is so much fun. I can't even tell you.
I got some stars and constellations right here as well.
Dude, it's so good, right? Like you can meditate inside the couch fort. Hey, did I show you my art? Did I
art?
Did I show you my? Yeah, I have an art garden too.
Oh yeah, that.
Okay, so check. Hey Ray, look. This is my address.
Sticker. That's my address.
Yeah, I've got an art garden. So my friend is the houseboy for Les Wexner. And,
who's Les West? Who is that guy?
He invented. Oh, wait a second. He invented the limited brands. He's kind of in the news right now.
Yeah, that narrows.
Nah, that guy's hot.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the houseboy for Les Wexner, and so like he'll drive his Ferraris around and get them serviced, or he'll but like when he's inside cleaning up, he's got like Picassos on the wall. And so my friend was like, I can do that. And he now makes and sells art. That's his job. But he might also still be a houseboy.
Speaking of art, you guys missed Damien from Radical Rick at the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Well, we don't live 6 blocks from it like you, dude. So
hey, you guys always have a place to stay. Come on.
Oh,
I haven't physically spoke to you, and I'm here right now to yell at you about you did something horrendous when we were there for 4 or 5 days in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where we were walking around the city, killing time, going to pizza shops, eating lunch twice because we had nothing to do, and we were 9 blocks from the Curtis brothers' house from The Outsiders. You are such a dick.
No, not at all. Danny.
What do you mean not at all?
No, Danny Boy was there on Friday night. He spoke to everybody.
Who's Danny? Not when we were there.
Yeah, he was the speaker on Friday night. He's the one that restored it from House of Pain.
We were there Friday night, right?
Where? At the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. He was.
Who was he speaking to? I was there the whole time. I didn't see anybody.
Spoke to everybody. They're in like the little hors d'oeuvre section.
We were there, right?
You're mixing up the 2 times.
No, dude. Danny Boy was there
when Kevin and TJ got inducted.
Yeah. Shane from USA BMX spoke first, and then Danny Boy spoke second. You were probably too busy giving helmet tours.
Was that before?
I was guarding my helmet. Maybe I had the helmet on and I couldn't hear.
No, he spoke for like 5 minutes. And he's the guy that spearheaded it. He lives here now.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't. I would have walked there in bare feet from the hotel to go see that. I've watched that movie 150 times, and I'm so like. I got home and somebody posted something like 2 days later, like, oh, we had a great time, blah, blah, blah. And we got to see the Outsider House. And then I Googled it and I'm like, it's 9 blocks from the Hall of Fame.
It is, but like he was there giving tours to everybody.
No, somebody would have, listen, somebody would have said, if somebody whispered the word Outsiders, I would have heard it.
Here's the problem. Okay, I think I solved this.
I'm still blaming you, Greg. Absolutely blaming you.
Ray,
100%.
You walked in there and the crowd formed around you. And so in your bubble of fame, you couldn't
No.
see anything else.
No,
That's what it
that's not
was.
true. That's not
There
true.
was more people to
When
watch
was there
the.
anybody talking? There was nobody talking.
Yeah, they gave it
on a
Shane from
Friday
USA
night.
BMX. Shane from USA
Nobody.
BMX. He gave a short little speech. Then Danny
When?
Boy went
How? When? I
never
was there the
listened.
whole time.
Friday night.
We were talking while this speech was going on.
Yeah, it
But
happened.
it's not that big of an area where you would like miss something like that. I mean, I may have stopped to take a pee or something, but like
You missed it. He probably spoke for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yo, look at that sticker.
Whoa.
Eddie Fiola sticker. Fiola.
damn.
I went and got
Damn.
that out of the closet.
That's by
Yeah.
Poor Boy, right?
All right, there's a joke there. I'm not going to say it.
Well, say the joke. You got what out of the closet? Say it. You're like
Fiola.
every joke flies here. There's no
There's
breaks
no
on
filter.
this.
Just let it rip.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he said he went and got Fiola out of the closet.
Oh, he did have Fiola did have great hair back in the day. He had that really good. He had good girl hair back in the day. You know.
Did he not look taller in the magazines though?
Way
Yes.
taller.
By far.
Because he had that seat post so high.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I remember when I was a kid and would go to these contests. I was like, everybody's a midget. I'm like, Dennis McCoy's a midget, Fiola's a midget, Dino DeLuca, Todd Anderson. They're all like 5'5".
Yeah.
Like I saw Todd Anderson was 6'4". Seeing him do those killer like look backs in the red line uniform and all that. And he came walking through the hotel with RL and it looked like RL had his gimp with him. I'm like, who is this little dude? And it was Todd Anderson. I'm like, what? So yeah, dudes definitely look.
Do you guys remember the Tulsa AFA contest in the early 80s?
Yes, but none of us were there.
Okay, so like that's where Hoffman like showed up for the first time.
Right.
And so we were walking in and there was this long-haired blonde in front of us with the acid wash jeans on. And my friend said, "Oh my gosh, look at that ass." It was Dominguez.
Oh. Speaking of coming out of the closet.
Oh my gosh.
And Dominguez was small. He's not that tall of a dude.
No.
You know?
Did he really only ever finger tighten his bike?
I watched it happen, sort of, almost.
That's insane.
I watched him take his bike out of a box, but I think he wrenched it. I don't know. And if you ask him, he'll be like, he won't give you a yes or no answer. He doesn't know. He doesn't remember. But I mean, it doesn't sound as cool, but I've done it, you know, to put my bike together. And I didn't do, 18-foot airs, but no, he probably did it once and then it became like the big legend. Of Mike Dominguez. But
hey, Eddie was the first to sign the Naked Gumby shirt that we.
Yeah, he was. I was there when it happened.
Look at that.
I signed
it. And because Eddie did that, I wrote my testimonial.
Who did
Eddie
you give
Fiola.
that shirt to? Did you give it to Wilkerson or Nori?
I sent it to Wilkerson.
I
sent it to Ron. No,
he threw that thing right out.
No, he took a picture. He sent me video of him like it's in a shrine place at his work. But that gave me yeah. I mean, it's a he's been on him for years to do that. But yeah, anyway, Eddie signed that shirt. He thought it was funny. And then that gave me the confidence to finish the zine because I wrote I wrote the whole zine first and then I went and did it. And we all did the stuff. But Eddie then gave me the confidence to write the first BMX Christmas movie.
What?
What? Christmas movie?
Just
The
let them go. Just okay. Oh, the Christmas movie, right? Okay.
New Bruises. A
Without Todd or
life-changing
Dave
story
here, we're gonna
is
have a hard time controlling Joe when he talks about whatever he's talking about. You just,
yeah,
you just
yeah.
got to nod and go, "Oh, that's awesome," and then quickly throw something else out there, like,
This is
like
all promotion
comment on
for
his
it,
cape
too.
or something again.
It's awesome.
Eddie does have
All
a
right.
life supply of Sharpie pens, though.
Hmm.
He's had one in his pocket every time I've ever seen him.
Wait,
They
who
travel
does?
with it.
Fiola.
Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Gary, do you travel with a Sharpie in your pocket?
I have them in my backpack for work all the time.
What
I have
about
this
you,
real
Ray?
skinny tip and a fat tip.
I use a highlighter more than a Sharpie, but I do have Sharpies,
Yeah.
but I use a highlighter like 80 times a day.
So the future, this is what happens when you get your MTV show, is you have to walk around the world, your world, with a Sharpie in case somebody needs you to sign their shirt.
Wait, who's getting an MTV show? MTV doesn't have shows, do they? Are they still on the air?
I don't
PJ,
even know.
Oh
have no
yeah,
idea.
yeah. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. Yeah, yeah. TJ's on there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, TJ.
They
That's
make
so
a
funny.
they make a Netflix show called Emily in Paris that Angie was totally stoked on.
Joe, I have
Did
a
you guys?
black, a red, and a blue one. Sharpie.
Awesome.
There you
I have
go.
gold and silver.
Impin.
Damn.
Because wait a second. There. It was when
Oh, he's
can you
going
see
back to
those?
the book. Quick, somebody starts talking about something. He's talking about the book.
That's the Dave Norrie autograph stamp.
Oh no.
What's Dave doing today that he's so busy?
I don't know, man. Like, he told me that what he should. So the reason we're doing this Couch Fort show is, I was laughing about the idea that Eddie was so nervous that Ray and I, and Stony and Todd would actually make a Couch Fort and then sell tickets to watch Rad and make fun of it with Eddie and Bill.
I don't even
That
think Eddie knew about that, did he?
according to sources, Eddie was nervous about it.
According to sources.
So Dave's like, why don't you just say nice things about Eddie instead of make fun of him? And I'm like, well,
We're not make fun of anybody. We always say nice things about people. We just
yeah,
sometimes point out
Dave
the
thinks that
obvious,
it's
and it's
making
funny.
Dave
Like
thinks
all
that
Dave stuff. Like I've never made fun of Dave my entire life, but I point stuff out that might be comical.
that's what he told
You know
me
what I
that
mean?
we shouldn't do. That's what he told me that we shouldn't do.
Oh,
So I was like, all right, well, fine. We'll get a bunch of dudes in couch forts who say nice things about Eddie. What do you? Who's that, Gary?
This is Chase.
Uh-oh.
Senor P-Paws.
Uh-oh. I thought
He wanted
like
to come in.
rabies.
He's scratching at the door.
Damn.
Right, buddy?
Match, though.
Huh?
The dog and Gary kind of match.
Gary
You like
matches
his
everything.
eyebrows?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Are you one of those people who match their pets,
No.
Gary?
No. No, my wife dropped off some hot chocolate with some alcohol in it.
How did you describe to her what you're going to be doing or what you're doing right now?
The same thing as when I did the other podcast. I have some BMX time with my buddies. And then she's like, okay.
Awesome.
There's the other one.
Nice. Tony, how much purple do you have going on right now?
Pink here. That's not purple though. So
Does it glow in the
Couple.
dark?
no, it doesn't. It looks like it would, but
Yeah, definitely.
no. Yeah, the purple blanket here. The purple blanket here. The bike is lavender, original color. So not
Are
too
you a
much
hippie?
purple, but enough. I
Tony,
don't
are
think
you a
so.
hippie?
I don't think so. I'm just mimicking you right now with the instant. Look at the cool dirt jumps. I got this from Empire.
That's pretty dope.
Instant dirt jump holder. Or wait, I said that backwards for whatever.
So Ray, how late did you stay up the other night at that party you went to?
Oh, I was falling asleep. It was me, Gary, and a bunch of other dudes, and man, it was late. Well, we got coffee.
We made it till
right
9.
Yeah, we made it till 9 o'clock almost. You know, I
Impressive.
mean, we got there at 4, like 4:15.
Right.
But the whole point of that the main thing we wanted to do at this and it wasn't a party, it was just like basically like me, Gary, Warren, and 3 other dudes that we like rode with when we were kids. We wanted to pinpoint the exact time we met each other back in the day.
Whoa.
Because like we've always, like Wally and John, I met them at Gary's house when I was a kid, you know, like 16 or 15, but where did those two meet? And so like that was the stuff that we were going over that evening, and then just that goes into like when you ask that question, like, hey, where did you two meet each other? And like, well, it was at the track, at the this and that. And then it just goes on and on and on. Look at that cat in the back taking a bath.
Yeah, that's
Hairball's coming up next.
Oh my gosh, dude, he has. His hair is so long that he has to.
Look at that.
Yeah, we're laughing at you.
Oh.
Right, why are you taking down your Christmas tree?
Well, look how pretty it is. Why would you take it down?
I saw it in the background. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, look. Well, I was showing you our dog. I was showing you Flapjack. Do you see Flapjack?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Flapjack's taking a nap. Sugar is somewhere else. But Flapjack, believe it or not, Flapjack sleeps like 20 hours a day.
Nice life.
Yeah.
Yeah, never take that Christmas tree down, Ray.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to. It's real, so it'll eventually die.
Get another one.
Yeah.
Get another one.
Yeah, don't get your house on fire.
I won't. Oh, we just had a house right down the road. Gary, right there on Crossfield, like in your neighborhood, Crossfield, you know, like where
yeah.
And house burnt down last night. 10 o'clock. Whole thing just blowed up.
Wow. Everybody all right?
Yeah, I think someone purchased the house and they were fixing it. So may have been
scam.
I was just gonna say may have been an insurance scam, but it was crazy. House fires are scary. Joe, I once burnt my it's too long of a story, but I was back in the late 80s, I was watching my boss's house. I was watching his dog and staying in his house, and I burnt the house down.
Great story. Yeah.
That's a whole nother story.
Fact.
That's a whole nother story.
Can we hear about not the whole story, but
yeah, so the house caught on fire.
We're sitting in couch forts talking about how you burned the house down.
Yeah.
His boss's
just want to be clear, his boss's house.
The highlight of the story is this happened like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then the fire department came and like the house got put out, and the house didn't get burnt to the ground, but it did a lot of damage, I guess. And so my boss was in Florida, and his number was at work, so I had to go to work, and I was like waiting. I was like, what time should I call him? Because at this point it's like 5 in the morning. So I waited till 6 in the morning, and I was like scared to death. So I called, and his mom answers the phone, and it's like, why is somebody calling at 6 in the morning? And why is it Ray? And the first thing she said, I'm like, hi, Mrs. Conlon, it's Ray. Is Bill there? She goes, oh my God, you didn't burn the house down, did you? And then, and I'm like, yes, I did. And she's like, ha ha. And then Bill got on the phone, all like woke up from sleeping. What's wrong, Ray? You didn't burn the house down, did you? I'm like, yes. And he's like, no, seriously, what do you need? I burnt the house down. And he's like, Ray, seriously, come on, it's early in the morning. What do you need? I burnt the house down. okay, seriously, what do you need? And I'm like, all right, there was a little fire.
Tell them
I
how it
burnt that,
started. That's the best part.
It was just the fireplace had it. The fireplace was like an old fireplace, and there was a gap between the firebox and the wall, and some heat or flame got up there, and the whole upstairs and wall like was on fire, and I was like sound asleep and didn't know it. And then I woke up, and there was like the whole house was filled with smoke, and I couldn't get out of the house. It was crazy. And then I eventually found my way out of the house and called 911 and all that stuff. But
Wait a
yeah.
second. You escaped a burning house.
Yeah, the whole house, it was great. What woke me up was I woke up and my eyes were burning, and I was like, what is going on? And I sat up and I couldn't see anything, and I was like, what? And then I took a breath and I started coughing, and I was in an unfamiliar house, so I didn't know like where. Like I got up and like smashed into the TV, and then I got up and hit a few other things, and I did to like get down low, but the smoke was just as thick down below. So it was quite an ordeal.
Hey, Joe, Ray was one of those guys who never took his contacts out, so it was always blurry. It seemed like everything was on fire all the time, so he didn't know if it was the smoke or his contacts.
Yeah. I was like, where's my eye drops? I can't see anything.
Yeah.
How old were you?
22, 23.
Yep.
A young kid.
Who did you go and have breakfast with the next day
Oh,
once you got out?
by Warren.
I went, yeah, probably like Warren. Like Warren might have been around, or no, Warren might not even been around. I think our buddy Jody, because I had, I think I might have been living with Jody at the time, and then I was like, dude, you got to go see my boss. And I got to my boss's house, and his father was there, and he's like, what the hell were you doing last night? What's with all these beer bottles? I'm like, they're not my beer bottles, and they were, but that had nothing to do with it. But that guy, that was my actual boss, that guy's dad, and he's like, how the hell you burn the house down? And then of course, and then how
did you answer him? When did you find out exactly how the house burned down?
That morning, and then it went from Ray burnt the house down to Ray probably saved everybody's life, because the fire was downstairs, and if he would have, like, the fireplace was going and the fire went out, and like I closed it all up, but it was still burning it like inside the wall. If he was home with his family, none of the smoke detectors worked, and he would have either died from smoke inhalation, or he would have been like throwing his kids out the window. So I look at it as the day I saved everybody's life.
Dude. All right. So
Yeah.
who did you have breakfast with the next morning?
I can't remember. I'd say Jody, but I don't remember. Like
did you have a conversation like in Pulp Fiction when they were talking about divine intervention? Like
no. No. There was none of that. All I remember was going to work on Monday, and Bill still smelled like a campfire. Like Bill came home that night, and the whole house smelled like a cabin at Valley Forge. It was just smelled like a campfire, because everything in the house smoldered, and they had to like throw out all their clothes. And his wife didn't talk to me for 17 years. She was a little upset.
He's still your boss now?
Yeah.
Same wife?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, she.
Okay. What was
I
the
made
first
that part
thing
up that
she
she didn't
said
talk
to
to
you
me, but she was she
Thanks,
still
Ray.
talked to me. I actually rarely ever see her, but she was I'm sure she was furious. Like came home from vacation, and they had like 2 little kids, and the whole house, everything in her house smelled like charcoal. You know, it was like burnt.
But wait a second. I think I'm getting your point, because any fire was gonna set the house on fire.
Oh yes, if they had a raging fire in the fireplace on a Wednesday night, and then they all went to bed, the whole upstairs was what the wall caught on fire, and it started off all this smoke, and the smoke would have like knocked them out, and they wouldn't have been able to get out of the house.
And none of his fire.
Not one of them. He had 6
worked.
smoke detectors, and not one of the batteries was
Probably use the battery for
energized.
video games or remote controls or something.
So,
yeah, we
Dude.
set a field on fire when we were kids.
What?
We only had a nickel to play with, and so we bought matches and we were lighting little fires and stomping them out. And then the wind blew, and I lived in an apartment complex, and it was a field between two apartment complexes. And I mean, man, there was police and fire trucks, and everybody was there. So we ran in the house, and my mom went running outside, and we acted like we didn't know what was going on. And then when the cops showed up, my little brother's face went, "We did it! We did it! We did it!
You did it."
So I got grounded for like a month, and my best friend couldn't play with me anymore because I was the bad kid.
The arson
Oh,
guy.
I was the arsonist, yeah.
Holy shit.
Love
Hey,
it.
the future, did you ever do anything like this?
I've never set any houses on fire. Haven't.
not yet.
You're traveling.
Not
Anything's
yet.
possible.
Not yet.
Matt Hoffman's house burnt down twice when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like he went to school the next day in his basketball uniform because he had no clothes. True story. Yeah, his house had burnt down twice. Like one day he was like interviewed about whatever, and he's like, "I'm really not sentimental about stuff. Like I don't collect anything." Blah blah, blah. He's like, "Because when I was a kid, my house burnt down twice, so twice he had to start over." Like picture that right now, your house is just gone. It happens to tons of people, you know, whether natural disasters or fires, but like just
I'm
picture
not
right
gonna
now you
picture
don't
that.
have anything but like you're in your car, like whatever's in your car, that's what you have, and you got to start over. Like family photos and all that stuff gone.
Yeah, because they didn't have iCloud back then.
Yeah, now it's all in the cloud, man.
You can just go to Instagram and you have it all again.
It would be like throwing away a bunch of CW frames or boom boxes.
Plenty of them.
I threw out all my VHS tapes when I moved back from Miami Beach, and I had a lot of good footy. What's going on, Ray?
I'm showing you Sugar Bear. She's
Oh,
sitting there.
that's Sugar.
Oh,
Sugar's dark. You can't really see her too well.
She's
But
couch
we
colored.
got Sugar, and this is what goes on around here all day. Sugar Bear. We have a
where's your
fish.
son
Pookie the
at? What
fish.
is your son on a date again right now?
No date. He's upstairs playing Fortnite, yelling at people.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know. Actually, don't know what game they play. There's
He's playing Fortnite, and you're hanging out in Couch Forts.
Couch Forts, yeah. I don't know what the game is they play today, but there's a lot of cursing. There's a lot of like arguing, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" So I don't know what game that is, but there's a lot of that.
Oh god, I rage out playing F-Zero. They got F-Zero on the Switch, but you play against like 99 people now. I don't know how. I'm the youngest here, so F-Zero's for Super Nintendo back in the early 90s. You guys were probably already done playing games by then. But
yeah, I was done with Pitfall in '86 when I found the gold bar.
Yo, Pitfall.
Remember Pitfall?
Yeah.
We completed Pitfall where it ended, and then like you got to call the creator or something. It had like a phone number or whatever. It was like we got to the very end.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
But yeah, with these racing games, I would just rage playing them and just smash my controllers on the ground, like in the mid-90s. Like
really?
I remember that. Yeah, my brother used to break controllers like that.
It's just but they got it out on the Switch now. Now you play with 98 other people online just randomly. So I only got a few first places, but anyways, that's my little contribution to that.
I only played a few video games, but one of them was the Dave Mirra BMX 2 on Xbox, and just playing open, like not competing and just listening to the music.
Oh, Free World? Yeah.
It totally, I was like, why am I playing this BMX video game? And then I went and I bought a Hoffman EP, and it was like, I'm getting back into riding.
Yeah,
I
Ray
didn't
should have been
know.
an unlockable character or something.
Yeah, it'd be-
Ray, where are
there's a
you
new.
in Dave Mirra's
I
video
should have
game?
been in it because Eaton
Like whenever you
worked on
level
it,
up to the top, you should have been
but
able to
we
get
didn't hang
Ray.
out when Dave was doing that. We what year did that come out? We didn't really start yucking it up with Dave till like 2001.
Yeah, that's
Like
probably like
we
99,
Yeah.
2000.
That's when it
yeah.
came
See,
out.
we in 2001. That's when like me, Gary, and Warren and Eaton we'd go to Greenville like twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. Who knows? But yeah, Gary and I could have been on there. That'd been something. the
I think we missed that by a
Gary.
year, Ray.
Yeah. Yeah, Greenville. Those were some trips, man. We'd pack up my car and we'd drive there and go to the warehouse, and there'd just be so many, just like everybody there was just good. You know what I mean? Because it was like the pro town. So it was like there was nobody there there were no large rays rolling around. There were just like full on like seasoned pros at age like 19, just like killing it. It was awesome.
So the Mustang that you had, was that the finger bike car?
Finger bike car, I don't know. The car that I bought off him, he got from a place called Jack's Pacific because they were buying Dave out of a contract.
Yeah, that was the finger bike car.
Yeah, they
What's the finger bikeness?
So I heard a story that they used Dave's likeness on the Haro finger bikes without his permission. So
that's not what it was. It wasn't not without his permission. Well, go ahead. You tell the version you know, and then I'll tell you the
I
real
heard
version.
that they used like his logo, his likeness on the Haro one. And then they were like, no, his likeness was only supposed to be on his own. So they owed him all this money, and he said, if you'll give me a Saleen, I'll let it go. And then he told me he wanted it painted black, and they didn't make it in black, so they paint the car for him.
Yeah. So what happened is they put his face on something like, instead of making 3 cents a unit, he was making $3 or something like that. So like his first check, instead of being like $4,000, it was like $400,000 or something goofy like that. They had to buy him. Those numbers I'm just making up, but they had to buy him out of the contract, and they couldn't just like hand him a check. They had to just give him something. They're like, we can buy you a house or buy you a car. And Dave was all into Mustangs, and he showed them a picture on like Road and Track magazine. He goes, I want this Mustang. It's Steve Saleen's Mustang. So they like 4 days later, Steve Saleen called and said, hi, this is Steve Saleen. Jack's Pacific just purchased my car to give to you. Where can we drop it off? And Dave said, well, I'd like it to be black. And he's like, we can paint it black. And so they gave it some like Earl Shives Mako type of.
That's what I heard. I heard it still had yellow in the
yeah, the paint job wasn't that good. And
shitty paint job.
Yeah, and so then Dave got it, and then when Dave got it, it had like maybe like 4,000 miles on it. And then he just had it in his, like every time we'd go to Greenville, it'd be sitting there and there'd be like tires would be flat, the thing wouldn't start. And then like one day we went there and he like had it running a little bit. And then the next time, like we went down like, just say like 10 times. And then we were like literally getting ready to leave. And he's like, look, man, do you want to buy this car? And I was like, I'll buy it. And he's like, all right. He's like, when you get home, just give me a check for 30 grand. I was like, okay. So we got in the car and we left Greenville and we got to like Rocky Mountain Road or whatever it was, Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, and the thing blowed up. One of the belts broke or something broke on it, and we had to get it towed back. And then like a year later, we went back and he was like, hey, do you still want this car? And then he standard Dave Mirra move. He jacked the price up to 32,000. And so I had bought tires for it and got them sent there, and he went and got tires put on it and then did nothing but burnouts in it for like 4 days until we got there. Like there's all these like circle marks in front of his house and in his like little circle area. But and then I was driving it home a second time and it blowed up again. But this time I called a place in King of Prussia to come. It blowed up in Richmond, Virginia, and then they picked it up and we went home with it. So I had that car for a while. And that was like, I mean, that was a crazy car. That thing was like the sticker price on it was almost $82,000. And it was fast as can be. It was like really fast. It was a full on like race car. And it wasn't practical to be driving around like, you know, in King of Prussia and potholes and all that stuff. But and then I eventually sold it to Roger Rodas and the guy from Fast and the Furious, Paul Walker. They bought it. And then like less than a year later, they both died in that car crash, which was crazy.
In that car?
Not my car, no. But the guy Roger Rodas, I had talked to him like 10 times on the phone, like totally like got to know him, and he was like a super, and like I like researched him because he was buying the car, and I was like, this guy's like a phony, and then found out he was like one of the greatest dudes and nicest guys in the world, and really rich too. And then he and the Walker guy, he killed Paul Walker basically. He crashed his Porsche.
Yeah.
But that's the Dave Muir car story. I had it for a while, and I kind of, there's times where I wish I kind of still had it, you know, but it was just like, you know.
Is that the one that Brian Blyther made you cry in?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, he was holding his hat because the thing was a convertible, and we were on the highway, and he was going like, I don't know the exact, I don't know how fast he was going. I can't really remember. I just remember it's the fastest I've ever seen. It's the highest I've ever seen a speedometer go. It was like, it could have been 120, could have been 130. I just remember he was weaving in and out of traffic. And I can't remember being more scared in my, like, I thought for sure, not only was I going to die, but it's like, when's it going to happen? Like here, like we're definitely going to die, but I don't know when because we're still driving. Like it was, and there's like nothing to hold on to. Like I just was like, just like make sure my seatbelt's on and I'm holding on. And I'm like, when we hit something, I'm just hoping that my face doesn't go through the windshield. And when we roll, am I short enough to where my head's not going to snap off? Like that's what I was thinking while he
drove it.
What's that?
What's the fastest you drove it?
Probably 120. Okay. And that was coming back from getting it fixed, and it was like early in the morning, and these two dudes, there was a dude in a Porsche and a dude in a BMW, and we were on the on-ramp getting on, and these guys were honking their horn trying to pass me. And I just like second and third gear in that car was like forever. And third and fourth gear were strong. Like I don't know anything about cars, but you could put it in, like it was just a fast car. And I was in fifth gear going like 120 and still had another gear. I still had sixth gear. And then I let off the gas, and then the guys went blowing past me. But I like totally beat two dudes. And it was pretty, that was the only time I ever really like raced anybody. And it wasn't even like it was like 10 seconds of like me flooring it, and that was it.
Gotcha.
But,
Joe, that car took no time to get up to that mile per hour. It had the rear differential was changed, the gearings, everything was geared so low,
yeah.
And everything came so fast on that car. No matter what gear you were in, you were hauling. It was actually like Ray said, it was scary to drive because how fast it was.
It was
how
really
fast the speeds came up.
Yeah.
Like 120s was nothing in that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I love that Mira burned your new tires off before you got it.
Oh,
yeah. And he goes, oh, I had to get the guy told me to do it because I had to get the wax off it. I didn't want you guys crashing. That's what he told me. I was like, okay.
You know, the real Dave Mira had been like, fuck Raybo, man. I'm doing, you know, the way he would talk.
He was doing it to stick it to me. I would have done the same thing.
Hell with him.
Well, that's what I did when I got rid of it. I had to meet the guy down at the local elementary school because they were pulling up in like a huge car carrier, and the guy's like, hey, how are we going to load this in front of your house? Like, I'm going to take up the whole street. And then I gave him the address of the local elementary school where it's like a big, big parking lot, and it was the summertime. There's nobody there. And when I drove like the 0.3 miles, and the whole time I was there, I was just doing burnouts in it and spinning it around like 180, doing it like all by myself, just like beating on it before I got rid of it. People are probably like, what's this guy doing? There's no license plate on it. I'm just like driving around.
Stolen.
Oh,
Fantastic.
fuck that
All
car.
right. You got any other Eddie stories?
Eddie oh, this is all about Eddie. I forgot.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to tell you mine.
Eddie. Yeah.
So
here we
the
go.
first time I met him and Martin Aparicio were on tour in Oklahoma City. And he walked up to me and he said, "You need to move back." And the guy next to me leans over and goes, "Eddie Fiola just talked to you."
Yeah.
He scolded
That
you.
was big back in the day. If a rider, like, that was the bomb. You talked about that for the next 12 years, probably, like,
hell
it's
yeah.
crazy.
We looked forward to that every year because GT came through every year.
Was he there with Dave Breed when you saw him?
He was there 1 year with Adam Jung, 1 year with Martin.
Yeah, it was later on then.
Yeah.
87 was with Adam Jung, probably.
And then 1 year, GT was at one bike shop, and 2 miles away, RL was with General at the other bike shop.
Oh, that was later
and
on.
You want to talk
Same
about
day?
like the highlight of our life? That was the greatest day ever.
Yeah, General did a good show. Was that the one where they had like the wall ride on the thing, where RL had the wall ride on the, like, they had a quarter pipe and a wall ride?
Yes.
Yeah, that was probably
They had
88. That was pretty good.
They had the hair extensions.
Yeah.
All braided
for
up.
an extra $1, they'd let you play with them. Like, if you buy a shirt, and for an extra $1, you could play with their braids for a minute.
I had like the Hammer tank top with the dog pulling the bike on the backwards rubber ride.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, everybody just left the GT show when they found out that RL was 3 miles away.
Yeah. Well, that was a good show because they had RL and Pete Kearney that were like doing all their Flatland stuff. They had Chris Rothrock, who he was do 12-foot airs without even trying. He was really good.
Yeah, Pete was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible.
That's what he says.
Yeah, Pete's around. He's on social media from time to time. Pete had years ago. Pete posted. This is like 10 years ago, maybe even longer. Pete posted some old stuff he found, and he had a pair of Hutch grips in the box. And I was like, and I messaged him. I said, "Hey Pete, those people will pay $300 for those things." And he's like, "Ha ha, that's funny." And then he got back to me and he's like, "Dude, someone just offered me $400 for these grips." I'm like, "Well, see if someone will pay $5." But he had a time capsule. He had his bike and his uniform and all this junk when he was done riding, put it in a bike box and left it at his uncle's house in California. And then like 30 years later, his uncle was like moving. He goes, "Hey Pete, do you want this box?" He's like, "What box?" He goes, "I have the box in the garage. I think it's your bike," and gave it to him. And it was a total time capsule. It had all his shit in it. And I was like, "Pete, you have like $5,000 worth of shit in there, So
Dude,
I think he still kept it.
Those RL Pros from General still bring top dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a collection of Fred Blood bikes at your house.
Dude, what's funny is when Drob was here for the X Games, we went to a bike shop that was like closing, and they had like 5 yellow Fred Blood Generals, and we were gonna buy the bikes just to take the wheels because they had chrome 48s. And the guy's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Just give me $50 a bike." And we're like, "Yeah, it's a Fred Blood bike." And we didn't buy them. There were 5, or no, he had 4. He had four complete bikes in the thing, and we didn't buy them. And this was right before eBay got like real big. And then but Drob walked out of there with like 7 coaster brakes. He loves a coaster brake.
So at the Hall of Fame this year, I was hanging out with Maurice. And so Perry Creemans from Skyway and his wife asked me if I wanted to sit at their table with them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a big nobody. I'm hanging out. I sit down.
Not anymore. Now you're somebody because you know us. So now
Mike Golden is sitting next to me.
He's my boy. He's great. Isn't he great?
Yeah,
He's
you guys were texting each other. So he leans over to me and he was like, "Hey, Greg, I don't really know you from Skyway." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of here." And he was like, "Well, how do you know these people?" And I was like, "Oh, I met them." And he was like, "When?" And I was like, "Last night." No, he was showing me your text when that lady went an hour long on her speech.
Oh my God. I was watching it live and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And like,
Dude.
she's a nice lady. We actually met her. She was there when we were there.
Yeah.
Talking about Tara.
She was giving the recipe to her chocolate chip cookies and telling you how to get to the outsider's house, or you walk backwards with looking through a mirror. She was
like, "Okay, now here's the
everything.
table. That's my other son." And then she went through their life from birth.
Yeah, my son, he's about 32. He's got 3 kids. Billy Bob likes porridge, and then they're going to see.
Oh my
God,
God,
porridge! Like
Golden,
she was just
Golden
talking,
and I were
and I was like
dying.
I'm like,
we were just dying.
I was texting Mike Golden. I'm like, dude, can somebody give her the hook, dude? He's like, dude, we're trying. And I felt bad because, like, you know, like the lady's super nice lady, but man, she was talking more than if Brett Downs and I were up there talking. You know what I mean? Like Brett and I would have been like,
it was 1 hour.
Right,
it was 1 hour.
Brett and I
when
would have ran out of stuff to talk about compared to this lady. Like,
it was exactly 1 hour when they finally cut her off.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. 1 hour.
Yeah, you guys should have been there. So it started out funny.
Hey, we don't all live in Oklahoma, dude.
It started out funny.
You should have been there. You guys should have been there. Yeah, we'll start
a GoFundMe for you guys.
It's
not
not the money.
Hey,
it's
Greg,
the time,
can you get us
dude.
sponsors? Yeah, get us sponsors.
Yeah, get us sponsors. He works at a Jeep dealership. He should have a Jeep come pick us up and drive us there.
Don't you guys have a private jet?
No, we don't need a private jet. We need a private Jeep. Get that Grand Wagoneer, dude, loaded with champagne, and come get me, dude. I'm ready.
I'll take you to the outsider's house.
You are going to take us to the outsider's house next time we're there. I don't care. I don't. Even if you're not alive, you're taking us.
Hey, wait a second.
Did you guys? So mad.
Did you guys see the future perk up when? Delco, why don't you get a Jeep dealership or Jeep sponsorship, and then you can go pick up Ray and Gary and me and Tony, and then we can go down and see Greg at the next Hall of Fame induction.
That would be a road, dude. That would be a road.
That sounds fun.
Picture
That's
the
a road
future.
trip.
Listen to this. Listen to this scenario. The future gets a Jeep sponsorship, loads up the Grand Wagoneer, picks up me and Gary. We drive to Ohio, pick you up, spend the night in the couch fort, put on our capes and gold chains, get Todd, and then drive to Oklahoma.
Yes. Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
Future. Let's get on that. All right.
Do it.
I want a Grand Wagoneer, black with tan interior.
I think I may fly out there just to ride back with you.
Just to ride back.
That sounds a lot more fun than me driving the 10 minutes to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, seriously though, who would it take to get inducted for you guys to come back?
Oh, well, I mean, I would think now, I mean, like, well, if Eaton gets in, I'd have to go. But I mean, Jay Miron should already be in.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll show up.
No, he will.
He'll
show up. He
I
will.
think he would.
He would definitely show up. Yeah, because it's the kind of thing where, like, I mean, like, if Freestyle and Magazine guys, if they got inducted, I don't know if they would show up. Like, I don't picture Spike going, but maybe he would. I don't know.
Maybe Andy.
Andy might, yeah. But Miron shouldn't even be on the ballot. He should just be in. You know what I mean? Like, he should just be in. And so, I mean,
want
I would
people that are
love to
gonna
go
come
and see him and support him and be a part of the whole nonsense just because he's so good. So, I mean, so next year he should probably be in. So if we're not there next year, you know, if Dave Norrie ever gets in, which he should, but he's not, didn't make it yet.
Gary should be in.
Gary should definitely be in, but I don't know how Gary's going to get in because he wasn't a nitwit. He was, you know what I mean? Like, not a nitwit, meaning like Diz was in because he was such a icon. You know what I mean? Gary
Right.
did really good and was awesome and better than half the people in the Hall of Fame, but he was so quiet. You know what I mean? Like he
Never
showed up at
mouth-posed.
contests and showed up in the magazines, but no one was ever really like, you know, everyone was like, you know, Gary Pollock's the best overall rider, but that didn't get people stirred up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's
I don't
the
know,
problem,
Noodles. I
because
think
they're
you'll
so
be in
far
someday,
behind.
but who knows?
They're just so
Hey,
far behind on
Gary.
the freestyle people.
Well,
Yeah. I
hold
mean,
on.
all it is, I mean, it really, I think it's just a popularity contest. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not
What can we
like,
do?
you know.
What can we do to get Gary? Gary, what nitwit stuff can we have Gary do over the next year so that he gets noticed and put into the BMX
I
Hall of
can't
Fame?
post stuff every day. That's impossible.
Yeah, I think you
I
just gotta
can't
let it
do
run
that.
its course. At
Hey,
this
the
point, I
future,
mean,
could you offer to post on behalf of Gary every day?
If you give me
Who?
enough material, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
The
Gary,
future
that's
can do
solved.
it.
The future can do it. What's next?
Like Ray said, I could do the tricks, but I just don't have the time to go do the stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like I can go to skate park, flatland stuff. I can still pull stuff out of my ass, but I
Yeah.
just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, the future. This is what we got to do. Gary is responsible. He has kids, job. He lives near water, and he has to maintain that.
Yeah, he
And
lives near water.
And so we have to be his media agent.
He also has random dog attacks. He has random animal attacks too. That, you know.
Hey, the
That's
future,
a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Hey, the future, will you partner with me on this? We have to bring Gary
Yes,
to
he
the
will.
forefront.
Yes, he will. Yes.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
What's our hashtag going to be? Pollock in the HOF or what?
Well, there's
Pollock
there's
HOF,
a list
Pollock
of people
HOF.
that it's weird because like if you look at dudes like even like Jason Parks and Chris Day, like if you were alive back then and watched them ride, saw Gary ride, and saw like where they were in the whole, like where freestyle was back then, they were the shit. Like those dudes were the guys that were like the shit. And then I mean like Joe Johnson's not in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like Joe Johnson
He changed the game.
Should totally be in. So it's just like, and it's weird because it doesn't, as much as great as the Hall of Fame is, and as much as we love the Hall of Fame, if you're in it, that's awesome. And if you don't get in, it's not that big of a deal because you're still a part of whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're still a part of like what it was back in the day. So I mean, look, if Gary never gets in, that's just as good as him being in. Like he's still Gary Pollock. You know what I mean? It's not
nothing's
like
gonna change.
It's not like it's not like, oh well, but you know, like I mean, Gary was on the cover of Freestyle magazine twice. That doesn't happen all the time. Like unless you're R.L. Osborne,
Right, but I need to get
or
Gary.
Dennis
I need to
McCoy.
get Gary in, so you guys have to come back.
Oh, if Gary was there,
Yeah.
we'd all there'd be
Well, what about
bunch
Ray?
of us.
Ray could be in too.
I would never embarrass the sport. I embarrass the sport enough, and I would not do it on the level of the Hall of Fame. I'll go there and support my friends, but there is no need for a nitwit like me.
Hey, Ray's got a helmet in the Hall
You're
of
a
Fame.
legend,
I would love.
Yeah, you're already
to
in,
see,
Ray, pretty much.
You
You're
are
legend,
already
dude.
in, Ray.
No.
And then we're gonna be.
Actually,
Then we're
that's
gonna be
what it is.
sending
You know
those
what it is?
Amish
I
kids
am
down.
already in. I am in the Hall
Yeah.
of Fame because I was there back in the day and had more fun than anybody else because it wasn't a job. Like even on a level like Gary Gary was just kicking it, but in a small way, that was Gary's job. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't look at it as a job, right, Gary? But it was still a job, you know?
No, like I was telling on the interview, like Magoo was like, when I was doing the King of Vert, don't go pro until you get the title. After you get the title of King of Vert amateur, then go pro. Because there was a lot of amateur riders that were going pro that shouldn't have been pro, but they just wanted to be pro.
Yeah.
So Magoo was like, no. He's like, just win as many of the contests and get the amateur title. So then right when I got the amateur title, which was in 91, my first pro contest was the actual Meet the Street in Oregon, which I placed, I got third place, but I think personally I should have gotten a little higher, but that was my first one. I did a really good job. And then after that, it was like Joe and I were done. No more out to the West Coast, and that we were just done riding. So
did you make any money from GT?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, Gary was getting paid when he was like 14 on CW.
Yeah. The residuals were good. The contest as an amateur, I wasn't getting paid, but GT would pay me to win. Like, if I got first on ramp, second, and then overall in the contract, there was stuff like that where it all added up. So,
right.
And especially with the magazine residuals were always good too. So, but that was a lot of my money was right there was the contest, winning the overall. That was actually the paydays, getting the overall compared to just riding Flatland and getting one amount. I'd get like actually 3 amounts. So,
right. Can you imagine if Ray had a photo contingency back then?
Dude, I would have been loaded. Dude, if I would have got $50 for every time I was in a magazine, I would have got a couple $1,000, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta love Carl Roth and Mike Daly, man. They were putting me. I was filler, you know.
Yeah.
I think Carl put me in every issue for a year. I think every issue he would just put a picture of me.
Yeah, I got cover of BMX.
Hey guys, you keep going. I gotta go. I gotta pick up Angie.
Oh, let's make fun of Joe.
Hey Joe, I got to knock too. I got to get going too. So.
We're all gonna go, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. Nice seeing everybody.
For being on the couch for
you guys too. Thanks for
safe travels. Safe travels, man.
I'll see you all at the Hall of Fame this year.
Nice seeing you guys. Later.
All right, good talking to you guys.
Bye.
All right, see you.